Hello, my dear friends and teachers. I'm Sheng Honghong, a postgraduate from HNNU University. It's my great honor to stand here today and share my topic, the differences of education between China and America, with you. Okay, let's begin. This is the outline of my presentation. It may include 4 parts. And the first part is what is education, and the second part is the differences of education between China and America. And the third part is I will take some examples of these differences. And the last part, we can move to the conclusion, maybe something like concluding remarks. Okay, let's move to the first part. What is education? Before we start, we can know something about education. Education is a process of learning and knowing, which is not restricted to our textbooks. And it is a holistic process and continues through our life. Even the regular happenings and events around us educate us in one or the other way. It would not be an exaggeration to say that the existence of human beings is fruitless without education. An educated person has the ability to change the world, as he or she is brimming with confidence and assured of making the right moves. Okay, let's move to the second part, the differences of education between China and America. In general, there is a big difference among different countries in the world at the aspect of social, culture, and educational system. And based on checking the extensive literature and summing up the evidence, it is clear that study about the differences of higher education has carried out a lot, which mainly explains that such differences for different aspects of higher education between them. Such aspects mainly include the cultural tradition and reform measures, educational system and the cultural tradition. In the integration of the differences, advantages and evils of these differences have been evaluated respectively, and corresponding improvement measures have also been put forward. Okay, I will take some examples of the differences between these two countries. Maybe they will include the 4 parts. The first part is university entrance examination. The second part is educational model. And the third part is on learning. The fourth one is the relationship between teachers and students. And the fifth part is puppy love. And the last part is pocket money. Okay, first let's move to the first part, the first difference, university entrance examination. In China, the university students still think that it will be good if you pass the exam. They all regard passing the exam as a way to success. But however, in America, American students just think that passing the exam is only the beginning of their study. Okay, let's move to the second part, educational model. As we all know, American education is quality-oriented. American education hours are very tightly. American parents set many rules when the children are young, but when they grow up, children are more independent. They know what to be at an early age and plan carefully to achieve the goals. However, in China, the Chinese parents will spoil the kids in their childhood, and when the children grow up, there are also many restrictions. Even university major and girlfriend are all interferences. And also in China, Chinese parents will usually prepare everything for the kids, and parents will tell them what they should do without doubt, which means respect. This is the so-called examination-oriented education. Okay, let's move to the third part. Okay, let's move to the different attitudes of reacting if children are wrong. And let's look at the left picture. In America, they may tell them stories and play with them to let them learn right from wrong. But look at the right picture, you may know in China, Chinese parents mostly yell them and use physical punishment. Okay, let's move to the third part on learning. In China, they are in pursuit of test, score, and parents. Their parents is all the orders, and in China we also learn the students We also hear the students say, score of life. But in America, they just pay more attention to interest and pursuit. In America, American teachers just let the students have an imagination space by making them interested in the stories and nature. As we all know, knowledge creation comes from curiosity, and they just make up of this. Okay, this is the first part, the relation between teachers and students. In America, teachers are mostly kind and moderate. Meanwhile, students do not have to carry out every instruction from their teachers. Most of them have their own thoughts. They may pose questions and challenges to their teachers. On the contrary, in China, the relationship between teachers and students are quite formal, and they are taught since the first day when they go to the kindergarten that they should sit up straight and obey all the disciplines. Before the class begins, and they will sit up straight. They will sit up and say, "Hello, teachers. Good morning, teachers," or "Good afternoon, teachers." And this is the difference. And in class, they just seldom challenge the teachers' ideas. Okay, this is the first part, the fifth part, puppy love. Okay, before we start, we just know something about what's the puppy love. This is a definition from Wikipedia of puppy love. And the puppy love is an informal term of feelings for love, feelings of love or infatuation felt by young people during childhood and adolescence. And the puppy love is a very widespread experience in the process of growing up. To this point, it is the same to Chinese children and American children. Okay, look at the picture. So funny. And this is the Chinese students, the Chinese parents' attitude to the puppy love. They are conservative and they hold a strict opposition to this emotional feeling. They even limit the differences of their kids between their kids and the other kids of the opposite sex, and to avoid this puppy love. But in the US, American parents are just a little open-minded. They hold a minor opposition to this emotional feeling. They even encourage their kids to take part in more the dancing parties and make more friends when the children are young. Okay, let's move to the last part, pocket money. Let's look at the two different kinds of attitudes of these two countries' students. And the American students will say, "We have to inform you that your pocket money is beyond the budget. You must go to clean the garage, brush the swimming pool, and cut off the grass in the garden. So, if so, we can give you some pocket money." But the Chinese parents will say, "Do you run out of your pocket money? If so, you can get some pocket money from the drawer by yourself." See, that's a difference. Okay, the pocket money for American students mainly come from the part-time jobs and scholarship they can get. But Chinese students mostly get the pocket money from their parents. This is a different resources of the pocket money. And I will make a conclusion. To sum up, education can mirror the culture. Education can mirror the culture. American people and Chinese people live in the different cultural environment, so this leads to a great amount of cultural differences between these two countries. And in order to communicate each other well, the people from these two countries should strengthen the communication in between due to the cultural disparities. The more cross-cultural communication carries on, the more misunderstandings would be avoided and reduced. And in doing so, the world would become more harmony and peaceful. In short, it is essential and vital to say that it is essential and vital to communicate among countries for creating a more wonderful world country. Okay, that is my presentation. Thank you for your attention.